Welcome back to youtube.com/GeekAloud. You've got Bully, and today we are having a look, a little bit late this month, but having a look at the PS Plus games catalogue that was released on the 18th of this month. And if we just jump into here, so this is obviously for the higher tiers, sort by recently added to PS Plus, and you can see there some of the new ones. So we had City Skyline and Street Fighter for last month, but we had Anodyne, which was a day and date release earlier in the month, so that's a bit of an added bonus for that one. I put a bit of time to it. It's a bit of a throwback to the SNES era style RPGs, and not a bad little game to start with. I put a little bit of time into that. We've got Riders Republic, so that's bike riding, snowboarding, bodysuit riding, I guess you'd call it, amongst others. On a big playground there. I'll skip a couple there and come back to them. We've got Doom Eternal. Probably not a bad, and probably a bit of a weird selection, to be honest with you. You've got some Bethesda published games that have dropped there, given that they're now owned by Microsoft. So interesting that they're coming over to the PlayStation, but whether that deal was done, sometime in advance, it was all sort of planned for, I guess that may be the case there. And you've also got Wolfenstein, The Old Blood, and the new Colossus as well dropping there. And The Evil Within, which was Shinji Mikami game. And bit of a strange, well, no, I wouldn't say strange take, a bit of it's like Resident Evil, but bit more almost supernatural, as weird as that is to say. You've got Paradise Killer, Bassmaster, Fishing, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure. But the couple that I wanted to jump into and have a look at firstly was Kena Bridge of Spirits, which for anyone that watches the channel and the Gaming Enforcement Agency will know that I'm a big physical media or game collector, and just for some reason I've never been able to pick this one up on the cheap. Coming out September 2021, so a couple of years ago now, but third person action adventure single player game. So I'm interested to jump into that one, and from what I've seen, it was received fairly well. Some good reviews overall in terms of its critical reception there. So we'll have a look there, just having a look. So Metacritic score of 83 on the PC, 85 on the PS5. So certainly interested to jump into that one. Slay the Spire, which was a bit a side-scrolling RPG type rogue-like deck builder, which is a mouthful, I guess. But interesting one there. I know Colin Moriarty from Last Stand Media fame is a big fan of this one, so certainly something to jump into and have a look. But that's getting a little bit older now, so we're looking at the originally came out in the PlayStation 4 in May 2019, so 4 years ago now. But again, not one I've checked out. But the one I have put probably the most time into this month is Wonder Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. As you can see there, and if I can work out my rather uncoordinated hands, you can jump into it and you can see some of the art style there. So I'm probably a bit over halfway through the game. You can see the art style, and one of the interesting aspects to the game is you've got different characters that you can sort of morph into. So you've got the frog. He can use his tongue to latch onto different things and maneuver himself around. You've got the snake that can spit venom, but can also climb up difficult to reach areas that are sort of grass as well, so he gives you that. You've got a pig that you can change into, which, as you can see down the bottom of the screen, there's a little cloud, so he basically can reveal secrets, etc. Doesn't have much in terms of offensive weapons, but what he does have is a set of magical spells that you can see there. So you've got fire, you've got bombs, lightning, which I actually just set off there, you've got whirlwinds, and you've got the boomerang. And a lot of that is very reminiscent of the Wonder Boy series from the Sega Master System initially, and a little bit of the Mega Drive or Genesis, depending on what area you're from. So it very much brings back those vibes for me in terms of the gameplay, the platforming is actually quite difficult, little platformer. But essentially what you're doing is the town is being cursed. You start off as that pig character. You can only it's almost like a little bit of a Metroidvania in that you can sort of use each character's skill set to advance and unlock different areas, and each skill set that you get. So you can see there's 2 blank spots up on the top and the top right that you can see there. So 2 more to unlock, but you know, different skill sets, like you can see with the lion, which it doesn't look. There you go. So you can basically use a dash attack to get through water, or glide across the top of water. So that's Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. I probably kept calling it Wonder Boy because that's essentially what it is a throwback of. But that is released in 2018, so a bit older again, on the all December 2018. So, you know, 5 years ago now that we're sort of 4.5, 5 years ago now that we're looking at that one for release. But I don't think overall not a bad month in terms of releases, especially with that day and date release, as I mentioned before, with Anodyne. And the other thing I want to have a look at there that they also released last week was in the Classics catalogue. So if we have a look back and jump into recently added, so you've got the original Doom, you've got Doom 2, Doom 3 and Doom 64 as well. And I think maybe Dishonored Definitive Edition was maybe dropped in there as well. But certainly the 4 Doom games there, if that tickles your fancy to play through those. So that's a bit of a look, overview of the PS Plus games coming to, or already arrived on the PlayStation Plus platform for this month. We'll see how they go next month. Sometimes it's a bit hit and miss, but nevertheless, if you've enjoyed this, make sure that you check out the Gaming Enforcement Agency on this channel. That's myself, Unky Dunky, and Troy every week, discussing the games we've been playing, the news and new releases of the week, and then we jump into the standoff where we discuss the best of gaming and we pit it against each other with a different topic each week, and also jump into audience participation, that we jump into the live stream chat there as we are going, and whatever we can't get to through the show, we try and wrap it up at the end. And if you can't join us on YouTube, make sure that you jump onto the podcast service of your choice, where you can download the audio version of that. That's a Gaming Enforcement Agency, every Thursday night Eastern Australian time at 8 p.m. to join us there. What else can you do with Geek Aloud? You can like it, subscribe it, and you'll never miss it.
Oh, that was luck. Hey, that's something. Oh, look at him!
Two players play.
Old Uncle Donkey. Gee, Donkey.